Okay guys, so in this tutorial what we're going to do is um, similar to the last tutorial, we're going to calculate the NDVI, but we're going to do it with multiple images. Um, uh, Once we have done that, we can then look at a time series to see how NDVI is changing over time. So in order to do this, first you're going to have to download images from um, the data hub. If you're not sure how to do this, just refer back to the previous tutorials. We covered this in tutorial 1 or 2. So once you have these images downloaded, hopefully you get 2 or 3, you can just add them to Snap. Okay, once they're added to Snap, what we're going to do is open them up in RGB just to have a look at them. So it takes some time to do it. Okay, we'll open up the second image. And we can open up the third image. Now, judging from this, you can already see one of the images has some clouds, and that's why we're opening them up, is to make sure that we choose an area where none of the images have clouds. So to do that, click on Window, click on Tile horizontally, and select these two icons at the bottom here in order us to move these images in unison. So we can see here we're moving them all in unison, and we can see already the places that we can probably put this when there's no clouds. So somewhere around here. So the first thing we're going to do is click on this rectangle drawing tool, and we're going to select an area of interest. So once we've selected this area of interest, double click on it. So go back up to your pointer first and then double click on it. Okay, once you've done that, right click on it and click WKT from geometry. So well-known text from geometry. Open up a Word document. Okay, and copy these coordinates into your Word document. Okay, click OK now. So now we have coordinates that should be similar or exactly the same for all 3 images. Next, what we want to do is deploy some processes or employ some processes for all 3 images, but not have to do them individually. So what we're going to do that is we're going to use a graph builder. So open up the graph builder there, which is this icon over here, and right click on it and click add. Scroll down to radar and then geometric and then resample. Okay, so that's the first thing we need to do. Next, click on add again, click on raster, click on geometric, and click on right. So subset is moved. So this is just an updated version. So I'm just looking for subset in this setup. So it'll just be a second. Oh, there it is. Excuse me. Okay, so once we have that done, so we can click collect graph. Okay. Next thing we want to do is go into our resample tab down here, and by reference from band source, we want to change that to B2 to make sure all of our bands are resampled at 10-meter resolution, which is similar to this B2 band. That's all we need to do from there. We then click on our subset and we can select all bands and then click geographic coordinates. So this is where we're going to use the coordinates we copied and pasted a moment ago. Once we go to that, we can go down to this text box and insert those coordinates, clicking update as we go. Now we want to come over to our box here and look and see what's happened. So if you happen to do as I just did there, just right click on it again and click update, and that should do it. So we can scroll in a little bit closer using the right mouse button to drag and change position on the map. Hitting the left mouse button gets us to select an area of interest, so we don't want to do that. So look, we've selected our area of interest there, and that seems to be correct. So the next step now is to go back to our read file, okay, and we want to ensure we're working off the correct file. So this is the April file, and we click run. Now we let that work until we see the red writing confirming it, process completed, and you can see it added under our product explorer there. We now want to go down to the next item, which is June. Well, this case is November, and click run again. And again, that was completed. However, it doesn't look like it was added. So we're just going to see, can we find out why that happened? Okay, and they're writing to a location that I didn't want. So we need to just change that. Because I updated this software, some of the defaults have changed. So I'm just going to go back and do this again actually. So we go back and do our April file. Okay, click run. Okay, and that was completed, so that's great. We then go down to the next one, which was in November. Click run. And that's going to ask me to override it, which I want to. Okay, and this time that seemed to have been added. And now we're going to go to the last file, which is June. And again, I'm going to just make sure that this stayed on the climate science folder, which is the folder I wanted it in. I'm going to click run again. Okay, and all three of them were added successfully, so that's good. So we can close out of this box. And now what we want to do is you can close these images over here. Okay, and we want to add these images. Okay, so open RGB. Open RGB. Because they're smaller, they should open much quicker. Okay, so that's okay. Now we go to Windows, tile horizontally, and we want to just make sure that when we move them, they're moving in unison and everything looks okay, which it does. Okay, so that's good going so far. Next, what we're going to do is we want to do some band maths on this. We want to calculate the NDVI. So again, we're going to click on this particular graph builder. We're going to click right click, we're going to click raster, and we're going to go to band maths. Okay, we're then going to right click on the graph again and click connect graph, and then go down to the band math tab. We're going to enter NDVI as our target band, and we're going to enter our expression, which is B8 minus B4 in brackets divided by, in brackets, B8 plus B4. You need to copy this formula exactly, okay? So that's our NDVI calculation, as we discussed in the previous tutorial. Once that's inserted in, we want to go back to our read file, and just note that we are reading in the November file here now. So we'll click run. Okay, and it looks like I forgot to put a, oh, I hit two brackets. Okay, so that's sorted now. So we click run. Okay, and we got something added there anyway in number 7, file number 7. So we want to go back to our read, and we want to change this to June. Okay, again, we're going to click run. Okay, and this said it completed, but nothing added. So we're just going to go back here, open up the product, and see, do we have any additional band maths? And we don't. So we're going to just run that again. For whatever reason, it just didn't work. And it added this time, so that's good. And then the last thing we want to do is move on to our, so we've done our June and we've done our November, so April is our last file to work off. That's our resampled one here. And again, we're just going to click run. Okay, and again, nothing appeared in the folder, so we just want to check. Okay, and nothing's appearing there, so again, we're just going to hit run again. Okay, and it appeared this time. So we're going to do the same thing again. So first, we're going to close these images. So we're going to close, 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 and then we're going to click onto these images, and then we want to add, we don't want to add RGB, we want to go to our bands and add NDVI, go to our bands and add NDVI, and then lastly go to our bands, NDVI. We then want to go window, okay, and tile horizontally, and sure, these two icons are clicked, click on our hand tool and move it around, and they're all moving in conjunction there. So that's again good. Last thing we need to do now is develop time series. Okay, so we have this information and it's all looking pretty good so far. Now we will go and we will remove, be careful now not to remove any files with the extension bandmath on them, but we can remove all of the other files just to make working easier, and I suggest you do save some of these files. So I won't save them just because it'll take some time, but I certainly suggest that you save them before proceeding. So it's just taking a second. Okay, so that took quite a bit of time for me to happen, so I paused the video, and you may find the same for yourself. So we have these three subsets that have been resampled and have bandmaths for the NDVI. Next, what we want to do is find out some analysis on it. So we're going to click into our time series, and to do that, we go into here, time series window, and that should add this window down here at the bottom. Sometimes you have a tool up here as well that is displayed. First things first, we click into our settings and we're going to add all of the files that are currently open. So just double check, we have November, June and April. We can then filter this, okay, and select NDVI, which is good, and then click close. Okay, now what we can do is check out how things are changing just by scrolling around. So when we click on any place in this one image, you can see the general trajectory between April and June. If we go on to this image, okay. So there's really only two data points there, so it's not actually incorporating the other data point, and that is because okay, so I'm just going to remove this and add it back in. So it's not unusual to have all of these issues kind of happening. You spend a lot of time troubleshooting through these types of problems. Okay, so we've re-added it and we're going to apply close. What I may do is just close the time series altogether and we'll just reopen it again for whatever reason. So time series. I think I know what the problem was. That wasn't really a fault of the software. That's my mistake. So what we need to do is we need to move this one down and then we need to click apply. Okay, I just had them in the wrong order. And let me click filter, VI. Okay, and again, it's just this x-axis is not updating. All right. We're not going to worry about that issue for the time being. Hopefully you won't have the same issue. That's what we wanted to do. There are other things we can do. We can drop points. Now this may not work, and if it doesn't work, we will come back to this another week. We can drop these points down here, and we can select data from those points, and it is not working there. But, oh, it is working. So that's great. So you can compare these locations, different NDVI values, and that allows you to see trends over time. So that's a very powerful tool. And then if you want, you can download and extract this. So you can extract it as an image file, or you can extract it as a CSV. So that's really beneficial. And I suggest that if this worked for you and you see all of your dates appearing in your window or on your graph, I suggest that you download this table, because this is going to form part of your assignment. I would also suggest that you do the same with some of your maps. So again, you can file and you can export your maps um, using these types of tools, view as image, I suppose. And we'll talk about a lot of that going forward, about how to extract the imagery. But again, make sure you save this file, because this is going to form the basis for your assignment. I hope that was clear. That sometimes these things are very delicate, and you have to kind of troubleshoot it as you go. So I hope that you found this informative, and we will have another tutorial for next week. Thank you.